just a little quick topic. Shout out to Asia. One of my subbies, Asia, wanted to pretty much touch on how do you know when to protect your crown, and I'm gonna get into that. Um, and this is more so my opinion and my experience, and um, just my opinion, and you can apply it to however it resonates with you. Greetings. So we're just going to talk about protecting your crown chakra in different forms and ways. Um, why people cover their crown. And again, shout out to Asia for bringing this topic up in one of my latest videos. Greetings. Hey. So I'm going to go ahead and just like kind of touch on what protecting the crown chakra is and in different forms of that. Um, Spirituality doesn't always have to be taken so in a way that's uptight. I don't want to say taken seriously, because you want to take protecting your energy seriously. But hey, how you doing? Greetings. You want to take it seriously, but you also at the same time want to have fun with it. So, we'll see women for whatever reason wearing certain head wraps and stuff like that, and it looks beautiful, it looks stylish and all of that, but it's also a divine protection as well. So why we cover our crowns, or when Asia's question was, how do I know when to cover my crown chakra? She left this comment on one of my videos that I did, and I briefly touched on covering your crown. The reason why you do that is because you're protecting your mind from any interferences coming in, or any attacks being sent your way from dark forces, or maybe anybody trying to send energy your way. Covering your crown doesn't always have to be with some sort of cloth, although it can be a form of doing that. Typically you want to use like a white cloth. That's something that a lot of people will tell you when you're doing spiritual work, spiritual practices. Nova, when you do spiritual practices, come here. I'm outside and my dog is a fool. Get over here. Get over here. Um, it's beautiful outside. It was just raining, so it's like getting away from the heat. So I needed to be out here. But with white cloths, why they do spiritual work and stuff like that, because you want to protect your crown from any interferences, basically. There'll be certain times where I'm led to physically cover my head. I don't use scarves all the time. Sometimes I might wear scarves and stuff, be on my Baddie shit, but not all the time. And there's other times where I'm drawn. I'm back. So there's a whole science to why I cover my Durag, because it's a deeper meaning, but I prefer Durags. Like I just think it's dope, and I make it my own. But for others, head wraps. There's other ways you can cover your crown. You can use, I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's the egg white powder that people put around their forehead. You can do that. You can mark your forehead with that. You can bless your head with olive oil. That's another thing sometimes that I'm led to do. You bless your head, your temples, your ears, the back of your neck, the nape of your neck with olive oil after you bless it. You can use Florida water. You can put a protective shield of energy around your crown, around your whole entire body. Anytime that you're doing any type of spiritual work, whether it's doing readings, whether it's even in religion, certain religions, they cover their head when they're in prayer. It also shows a sign of devotion to one's religion or their spirituality. Some biblical texts will say that women, when they're prophesying, they need to have their heads covered, protecting their crown. And that's just so that you don't have any spiritual attacks. And that's happened to me before. I don't always go in the boxing ring prepared all the time, and that's not cool. Um, but there's been moments in time where I've experienced having my crown chakra attacked, and you can tell. I noticed something too that's really weird. Whenever I would go into like a Walmart, like when I know I was going to Walmart, I would always have something on my head. I never paid attention to that until like recently, that I would usually, and sometimes wigs too. Like there's a whole science with wigs, and we might like talk about it. Some people know what they're guided to do, but some people, some performers allegedly like to wear wigs as a form of protecting their crown as well, and I get it. Um, Even sometimes when I was even wearing wigs and stuff like that, I would put crystals in my wig just to protect my crown, and I didn't know what I was doing even then. Like I was just, it was like a form of like just putting it somewhere, like how some women, we put our crystals in our bra or our underwear or whatever to protect our energy in different ways. I would put mine in my wig sometimes. But how do you know when to do that? I will say anytime you're doing any spiritual practice, you want to either cover your head with some sort of cloth, preferably a white cloth, because white represents like a white aura, which is supposed to be the pure form aura, whatever. Or whatever crystal or stone you're led to use. Some people make crystal crowns for that as well. Wearing crystal crowns is also another form of that. Meditating and covering your crown, visualizing a white aura around you. Anytime you're doing any type of spiritual work, whether you're reading, you always want to cover and surround, or cover and protect your energy field, your body, your space, your cards. It's a whole science. That's why I be saying, like, I have to be careful, like, what type of people I get readings from and who I watch readings from, because not everybody does the proper protocol. Because when you get over here, when you open certain doors spiritually, you're using certain spiritual tools, like you're opening portals and gateways, and if you're channeling guidance and information and you yourself don't have a clear intention of what you're doing, or you're not protecting your energy, you can open doors for anything to come in, and it'll come to you in a way that seems light, fluffy, and sweet. And then next thing you know, you got something in your house. You don't, you got to protect your space. And that's what I always say all the time. That's why I pray over my readings, and people are like, why the fuck you doing that? Oh, you're doing this, you're doing too much. Some people don't mind it. I have to command my space. Not saying that there won't be weapons formed and there won't be things and people that come in and try to attack and all that. That's a part of a whole nother thing too, is when you command your space, be ready for warfare too. Like, just because, you say this is my domain doesn't mean that nobody's going to try to knock and come in and try to interfere in your space. You have to protect yourself and your energy field as well in different ways. But whether you're doing some type of manifestation work, you're doing candle work, whatever, make sure that you're protecting your space when you're doing that type of work. For anybody else that, I'm sure those of you that know, you know already. For those that have that question like Asia, well, how do I know when to protect my crown? When I go into spiritual stores and stuff like that, I notice I'm led to cover my head. Like, I'll wear a wrap or something that day. I'll wear something over my head. Like, let's say, for instance, a botanica. Or not every time, but I notice there will be times where I'm led to go, where I'll wrap my head before I go into these stores, because there's so many different energies of people that spiritually that go into these stores. You don't know what type of candle magic or what type of herbs and work that they're doing, like why they're going in that store to get certain stuff. You don't know, right? You got different energies, you got different intentions, so on and so forth. So that's another thing I do. I cover my head when I go into these spiritual places. I try to remind myself more of, but I've noticed times that I just subconsciously would just do it, and I see why. What other time? It's really when you're led to. And I would always say this, like, if it's not a head wrap, again, some type of form of protection, whether you got to pray over yourself, over your mind, over your ear chakra, over your just over my brain, over my mind, my functioning. Protect yourself. because the biggest attack that will be sent your way is always going to be in the battlefield of your mind. That is where a lot of things are rooted. A lot of seeds are planted. A lot of things manifest are from the mind. So protect your head always. Cover yourself as always. What about why? Hold on. You said, what if you get headaches? What do you mean, what if you get headaches? When you cover your crown? When you get headaches? You gotta elaborate on that a little bit more. If you're talking about how do you know if you're being spiritually attacked in your crown chakra, I feel like there's different levels to that, and that's kind of easy to pinpoint. Just like, let's say when you get into an argument with somebody, right? Whether the person knows it or not that they're sending energy to you. Let's say you're having an argument with your best friend or whatever, relative, and this relative says something, and then you feel it in your stomach. They just sent you energy to your solar plexus, whether they realize it or not. Let's say someone is cussing you out, and you start to have headaches, you start to have buzzing feelings in your crown chakra. Somebody just sent you energy to your crown. If you have headaches, it doesn't always mean that you need to do that. If you feel like something is off, I'll say this, just to like save us the trouble, because sometimes headaches could be different things. It could be, obviously, let's say exhaustion, fatigue, whatever, not drinking enough water. It could be you're having crown chakra awakenings, or let's say you just did a massive channeling or something like that, because that happens to me sometimes, or I channel a little too intensely, and then when I come back down and I ground my energy, my head hurts. You got to discern between when it's an energy attack or something, or something is like interfering, versus when it's different things. But I would say this, like, make it a habit, like spiritual hygiene. I call it spiritual hygiene. Just like how we, daily take showers, whatever, take baths, brush our teeth, wash our face, what we do on a regular, make spiritual protection your major hygiene. And I don't mean just only cover your crown chakra, cover your entire self. Pray over yourself. Shield yourself with armor, spiritual armor, even more so now. If you're light workers or shadow workers, even more so, double up on that shit. Be more diligent about it now, because a lot of people are being spiritually attacked. A lot. And if you're in an army, you got ancestors, you got spirit guides, you got the Most High God to protect you. And I will say this, anybody that thinks that they can get away with shit, hurting people, taunting people, slandering them, being disrespectful, get over here, and all that other stuff, Spirit, divine is going to give you what you deserve back to you. It's not just because you say, come here. Just because you say or claim that you got ancestors and angels backing you, don't mean that, you're untouchable. And I hate to see it. The arrogance of it all, people thinking that they can get away with hurting people, taunting people, especially light workers and spiritual workers that come here to purely, intensively help people, and you're attacking them, being a douche, asshole, jack off, whatever you want to call it, and say that you're untouchable. You're not untouchable. You're not invincible either. Divine Spirit sees all of the projections and all of that stuff that these narcissists do, and all of these little empires, these dark agents. All of that stuff is going to come back to you. Now, for those of you that are doing spiritual work to help others, including yourself, and you have pure intentions, you need to double up on your protection. It's not a fear-based thing. It's just a spiritual, it is what it is. If you know anything about spiritual work, you know it's a spiritual warfare when you do this stuff. It is what it is. It is what it is. And if you're a part of your spiritual army, let's say your angels, your ancestors, the Elohims, whatever, they are going to protect you, yes, but you have to do your job in being strapped in the army too. It just can't be one-sided. It can't just be, oh, my angels and my ancestors got me, but I don't have to strap up, or I don't have to be, I don't have to do my diligence in guarding and shielding myself. You have to, you must. It's a must, because you're a part of the army as well, so you got to be strapped too. Um, yeah, if not more, because you're put in the forefront. But the thing is, you do have protection, so don't look at it as you're just being thrown out to the wolves. That's not what it is. So shout out to Asia for even mentioning this, because it is something that has been kind of coming to me, and I got confirmation from another spiritual page. Shout out to, her name is The Oracle with 2 E's, The Oracle, on Instagram. I follow her. She has a Twitter, and I think she also has a YouTube channel. She posts a lot of dope messages and memes and stuff like that on her page. And one of them, she was saying to protect yourself, protect your energy, protect your crown, I believe. And I feel like it was confirmation to talk about this topic, because I knew that I was going to have to go into it a little more detailed than just typing the message to Asia or a comment to Asia about it, because there's so many different levels to this. And it also goes down to following your own inner guidance and your own intuition. Whether it's a form of color magic or candle magic, or visualization work, or whatever, using oils and herbs and different things like that to protect yourself and protect others. It's all about your own intentions, and it's also about your own inner guidance and what you're led to do. One person's method may not resonate with you, if that makes sense. And like I say, also have fun with your spiritual work. And what I mean by that is not saying don't take it seriously, but don't be too tight-assed that you can't enjoy your path. Like I said, I like wearing do-rags for style, yes, but it's also a form of a way that I protect my crown chakra without me even realizing it at first, but I get it now. And it resonates with one of my divine goddess energies that I resonate with as well. So it all has a purpose and meaning to it. Whether we realize that we do things and why we do it, it's all a purpose. So just make sure that it's of a positive intention. And that's pretty much it. None of us are perfect. We all also have to correct ourselves and make sure that we're not opening up or allowing things in our space. And also, we're not attracting those things based off of fear or whatever other energies. So just check in with yourself. To you, Asia, would be only do what you're led to do, and why, or when to know when to cover your crown is, when you're led to do it. And how you do that also is based off of what you're led to do. I would always say, before you even get up in the morning and before you go to bed, you always want to cover your crown chakra. You always cover your fields. You always want to cover your home. Put a protective shield over your home every night. Command your space every time you get up in the morning. Do I always do that all the time? No, but I do make sure that I pray over myself and over my loved ones at some point throughout the day. Yeah, you must put on your full armor, as they say. So I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to shout that out real quick for Miss Asia. I hope she sees this. And if you guys have any other topics that you want to touch on, we can talk about it. I appreciate y'all, as always. And yeah, until the next time, I just wanted to come out here because it's so beautiful. We finally get a little bit of breeze out here, because we always in the 100s and up. Like one time it was 112. It gets really hot. So the rain is kind of giving us a little bit of a breeze, and it's not exactly sunny, but it's nice weather. So I appreciate it right now. Out here with my crazy dog Nova, acting a fool. But yeah, much love as always. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be posting some readings soon. Much love as always. Peace.